Welcome back to Cooking with Scott. Today we're going to be doing an Asian chicken burger. So there's quite a lot of components involved and you can actually get quite a few different ideas from the one recipe. So the first thing I want to do is, I'm lucky that with the barbecue here I've got a little gas element on the side. So if you're at home and you don't have a barbecue this big, you can actually do this part just on your normal stove. So into my fry pan I'm actually going to stick some oil. So in goes some of my oil, and what I'm going to add to that is some diced red onion and some lemongrass, and I just want to fry that off and just get that nicely fried. I'll just get our wooden spoon. So what I'm doing here is actually making a paste and a sauce. So I'm going to be making a paste that we're going to add to our chicken mixture, but I'm also making the peanut type sauce that we can actually use as part of the actual dressing or the sauce that goes with our burger. So if you imagine a burger, it normally has some sort of tomato sauce or barbecue sauce. We're making a peanut or an Asian style peanut sauce as our sauce to go with our burger. So while that's just softening down, I'm going to go through the rest of the ingredients. So I've got some lime, so I'm going to use some lime zest. We've got some smooth peanut butter. I've got some sweet chili sauce. I've got some Chinese 5-spice and a wee bit of sesame oil. And then in my bowl ready to go for the actual burger patty, the chicken part, I've got some chicken mince. I've got a whole egg, and I've got some some fresh breadcrumbs that I've just actually processed off. And to that I'm going to add some coriander in a few minutes. So once the onion and the lemongrass starts to soften down, I'm going to add the chili sauce. So in that goes, we want to add our fish sauce, our Chinese 5-spice, and I'm just going to add some of the rind, or we call the zest of the lime. So I'm just using a zester to take that lime zest off. So we're building up again some of those Asian type flavours just to make a different take on the burger. And as I said, you can actually make this part of it at home on the stove or inside. You don't have to do it on the barbecue, but if you're a bit of a flash hand on the barbecue, you might want to show off your skills and do all of this as your guests are there having a nice cold one. So while that's doing that, we're also going to add some coconut cream to that as well. So we're just going to pop those behind us, bring over our coriander. So again, building up those Asian flavours, we'll take our coriander, and I want to give that a really good chop down. It's going to add some freshness and some colour to our burgers. So that's going to go in with our breadcrumbs, our chicken and our egg. So once those ingredients moisten down, what you do now is add that coconut cream. So in goes the coconut cream. And what we want to do now is we want to reduce that down just by about half. So we want that mixture to actually reduce away. And I'll show you what that looks like. So I'm just going to turn my heat down a wee bit so that reduces. What it actually ends up looking like is this. So we've now got this paste. Now this has already got the peanut part in it, so it's our sauce as well. So what we're going to use, we're actually going to use part of this in our patty mixture. So it's going to add those flavours into it. So in goes some of that. And now the messy part, we want to get our hand in there and mix all those ingredients together. Now you can buy chicken mince in the supermarkets now. If you don't want to buy it, you can actually just make your own by putting it into the food processor. But just be careful you don't over process it, because if you do, it just goes very fine and you're going to lose some of that texture. So hopefully you can see that mixture now. We've got all that coriander that's going through it. So we're just going to give my hand a wee bit of a wipe. Now when you're making any sort of burger, the easiest way is to put some cold water onto your hands, and you'll find that you can actually form the patty or form the burger patty much easier. So what we're going to do is we're going to put a wee bit of oil onto our barbecue, go back and get some of that nice cold water, and then just to do one, so take the burger mixture. It's quite a soft mixture, so you have to work quite quickly, but as you can see, you can form that into a patty quite quickly, and that can go onto your flat grill. Now of course, whenever you're barbecuing and using chicken, most people should know today, always be careful with chicken. Make sure it comes straight from your fridge onto the barbecue. Make sure you cook it properly. We don't want any pink juices or any red flesh. We actually make sure it's all nice and clear. The same with if you're doing a burger type patty. So I can see, back to my sauce, I can see that mixture has actually started to reduce down. So what we do now is we then take our peanut butter component, which of course is the classic satay sort of style sauce or ingredient that we use. So of course it always goes wonderful with the chicken. If you like a crunchy peanut butter, that's fine. I'm just using a smooth. And you just want to basically stir in that peanut butter. So that's come together really nicely. So we'll just sit that to the side. We'll have a look at our chicken burger patty. Look at that cooking up nicely. But we're going to serve this with some carrot and cucumber ribbons. Just a trendy term. Really need a speed peeler for this. I've already peeled my carrot, and what we do now is just using the speed peeler, we cut long, thin strips. So that's why we call them ribbons. So this is going to add some nice colour and some nice textures to our burger. Now you could, if you wanted to do an Asian style thing, you could actually pickle these as well. They would retain some of their texture and their crunch, and add a sort of a more of an Asian theme too. So you can see we're getting those wonderful long ribbons. That should do us, I think. So we've got our ribbons ready to go. We've got our patties on cooking, and I've just popped on another couple here that I just cooked a wee bit earlier. So then we've got our burger buns. I'm using a sesame seed topped bun. And we just want to warm that up as well. Now I'm going to make these as an open burger. So I'm actually not going to put the top on them. You could make them as a full burger. This just makes them a wee bit different. Just a different way of serving them. So we don't want too much of a toastiness with our buns. Just enough to get a bit of warmth into them. Turn our patties over. So now it's a matter of building our burgers. So as I said, this has got lots of components. So as I said, you could have the sauce already ready to go, have made it in the kitchen at home, then you could have your ribbons already done as well. So what we're going to do now is take our two halves. We're going to take some of this wonderful peanutty satay style sauce, and we'll give that a bit of a spread on top. Then we can take some of our wonderful carrot and cucumber ribbons, build those up on top. So really nice and healthy as well. Haven't added much oil to the dish at all. And then we can take our chicken burgers and stick them on top. We'll just take that one out of the way. I'm just going to finish with a little bit of ground pepper and a little few crystals of sea salt, and if you wanted to, you could finish it off with some fresh herbs from the garden if you wanted to, but I think it just says for itself our wonderful Asian style chicken burger. So there's our chicken burger with that wonderful peanut paste as our base, with those carrot and cucumber